Welcome to New York. In this video, I'm going to be sharing some of the top attractions and things to do if you're visiting the city. There's just so much to do, you cannot do it all in one short weekend like we have here, so I'm going to share what we get up to and a few things from a previous trip just to give you some inspiration if you're visiting soon. New York City is one of the most popular and iconic tourist cities in the United States. It's divided into 5 boroughs: the Bronx, Queens, Brooklyn, Staten Island, and Manhattan. In this video, we are going to be focusing on Manhattan and sharing just some of the amazing attractions you can check out and some of the things you can do while visiting the city. And like I said, there are so many more things to see and do in the area, but we only had a short visit, so we'll have to try some new attractions on our next visit. Let's jump into what we were able to see and do with less than 48 hours in New York City. If you're coming to New York, you definitely need to add the vessel to your list. When we were here 5 years ago, you could actually go up inside so that you could get views of the city below, but now you just have to admire it from the ground. Hudson Yards in the vessel area is more than just a unique structure that offers cool views of the city. This area is also home to over 100 diverse shops and culinary experiences, a public square and gardens, residences, and corporate offices. And attached to the Hudson Yards area is the High Line, our next attraction. And this is a public park and walking path built on a historic elevated rail line. Another attraction you should add to your New York itinerary is coming to the High Line to check out the city from above. There are some great views of the city below, plus you can even get some views of the river. And another spot that you can get great views of the vessel is from the High Line. And you can watch some helicopters taking off, you can see the ferries and the different boats out on the water. Overall, I would definitely recommend it. We enjoyed walking along the High Line and taking in the beautiful sights, street art, unique architecture, and enjoying the greenery. And it led us to our next attraction, close to the end, the Chelsea Market. This market is an iconic culinary and shopping destination located in the meatpacking district. The Chelsea Market should definitely be on your itinerary if you're coming to New York. This place is pretty unique and there is a lot to offer. If you're looking for clothing stores or other souvenirs, you can probably find some here. Plus, if you're hungry, they have a number of different restaurants and food stalls that you can choose from. We enjoyed browsing around the market and checking out all of the different shops, restaurants, and food options. On our last visit, we went to Los Tacos and had some delicious tacos, and I also enjoyed the unique handmade shop as well. For those that haven't been to a Starbucks Roastery Reserve, I had to add it to the list. This was a unique spot to get coffee, cocktails, and food. Plus, you could download the augmented reality app to enhance the roastery experience. It was fun to browse around, get a coffee, and head back out to sightsee. Another thing you should do if you're in New York is come to the 9/11 Memorial. This is a beautiful tribute to those who lost their lives during 9/11. There are 2 fountains bearing the names of those who sadly died, and there's also a museum here that you can go into to learn more. Unfortunately, we didn't make it in time and the museum is now closed, but the gardens here are also a beautiful area to come and walk around. So whether you come during the day or at night, it's a beautiful tribute to those who died on that tragic day. And at night, it's even more beautiful because they do have the fountains lit up, so I would recommend coming to check it out at night if you can. We spent about 20 minutes looking around the area and taking in the sights of the fountains. Next time I'm back, I would love to go to the museum. It looked like you could pre-purchase tickets online, get them at a self-serve kiosk, or line up for the ticket booth. The next thing you need to add to your list is getting a New York-style bagel. So we came to Hudson Bagels for breakfast this morning and it is absolutely packed in here. Alan got a Reuben sandwich and I got an L6 or an L7, which was basically a turkey BLT. So now we're just gonna eat our breakfast, probably get out of here pretty quick because it is so busy, and carry on for the day. This seemed like quite the popular spot and both our breakfasts were delicious. It was about $35 for everything that we got. We got a Reuben, we got a bagel, 2 coffees, 2 iced coffees, and waters. So definitely check this place out if you're here. It's at 48th and 11th. I lied, it's at 48th and 9th. Another thing you can do in New York is go to a Broadway show or a musical. Unfortunately, we don't have time to do it on this trip, but it's definitely something I'd like to add to my list for future vacations here. Book ahead if you're looking to get tickets for a show because it does require some pre-planning and making time in your itinerary. And while you're here, you definitely have to come to Times Square because this place is so happening. There's lots to see here. You can get your picture taken with some characters. You do have to pay them though because they are in costume for business purposes. There's lots of signs and glowing lights, and this would be amazing to check out at night. We've been here in the evening and can confirm it is quite beautiful, but in the daytime, it's still beautiful too. You don't need to spend a lot of time in this area because it is quite touristy, but it's a fun spot to see at least once in your life. And if shows are your thing, you can get tickets to a late night show or another talk show while you're in the city. The top of the rock was an attraction I had to see when we were in the city this time. Not only did it offer amazing views of the city from the 3-level observation deck, but it was really interesting to learn about the construction of the tower and the ironworkers who made it a reality. You can get a general admission ticket like us, or you can add on a beam experience to get your photos 70 stories up, sitting on a beam to recreate the historic photo from 1932. I love the city views and sightseeing from above. And after visiting the top of the rock, you can head to the Rockefeller Plaza, where there are shops, restaurants, and a beautiful fountain with seating to enjoy the plaza. In the winter, this turns into a large outdoor skating rink, and last time we were in the city, we were able to see it and the beautiful Christmas decorations as well. So regardless of when you visit, it's a great spot. And if you know us, you know that we love to try local breweries on our travels, and there were quite a few to choose from in Manhattan. We visited Torch and Crown Brewery on our first night in the city for dinner and a beer, and the next day we went to Other Half Brewing, which was right near the Rockefeller Center, and did flights, which was especially exciting for us because we were able to sample even more kinds of beer that they had on tap. If you're coming to New York, you definitely have to come check out Grand Central Station, which is a beautiful station in the heart of the city. It's very popular for movies and just to come check out if you're visiting. You can take some great photos and video here. It's a nice historic spot to add to your list. By the Vanderbilt Avenue entrance, there's also a bar where you could go and get something to eat and drink. Right now, there's quite a few people in there, and it's a great atmosphere. And outside of Grand Central is One Vanderbilt, which is one of the newest skyscrapers in Manhattan with a viewing deck. And outside there were plenty of street food vendors. Which brings me to my next thing to do, and that's to get food from a street vendor. I quite enjoyed how many ice cream vendors there were around the city and got myself an ice cream, but depending on the type of food you were looking for, there were plenty of vendors to choose from. Another thing you should add to your itinerary in New York is grabbing a slice of New York style pizza. We went to $1.50 slices and got 2 pepperonis, which weren't $1.50, but if you are looking for a $1.50 pizza, you can get a cheese slice for $1.50. The pepperoni was $2.25 each, and we're about to taste it now. We found somewhere to sit down the road, and then we dug into the pizza. It's safe to say it was Alan approved. So this is my $1.50, just kidding, $2.25 pizza. Nice and crispy. Good sauce flavor. Definitely worth $2.25. Last time we were in the city, we went to Joe's Pizza for slices, and it was a great option too. We are now in Central Park, and this is another attraction you should definitely add to your list if you're coming to New York City. There is so much to see and do here. You can take a little ride through the park, you can rent a bike, they have horse-drawn carriages as well. We've decided to explore on foot, although I really would like to do one of those horse-drawn carriages. You could probably spend an entire day here, but unfortunately, we don't have that much time. So we've picked a few points of interest on the Central Park map and are going to head to them and show you what we get up to. It could probably take multiple days to see all of the sights, scenery, and attractions in Central Park. We've been twice now and still haven't seen it all. We stopped at the Carousel, Empire Rock, saw the ball fields, and the sheep meadow. We also visited the Bethesda Fountain overlooking the lake, which was another popular spot. Then we made our way to Belvedere Castle overlooking the turtle pond. Sadly, we didn't see any turtles, but the castle was pretty beautiful.
So my favorite part about Central Park is that it doesn't feel like you're in New York. I'm a big fan of the outdoors, I'm a big fan of being in the forest, and this is right up my alley.
I really like how many trails there are. There's nice benches and shade. There's lots of activity going on with different performances and buskers and people selling merchandise. It's really cool to check out, so you definitely need to add it to your list of things to do. Next time we're in the city, I'm planning to spend an entire day taking in the sights of Central Park. Next up is the Empire State Building. We visited this attraction on our last trip to the city, and it was an awesome experience to learn about. It was cool to see the different exhibits and displays inside featuring some of the movies that were filmed there, and also to take in the city views from the observation areas. The Charging Bull statue is next on the list. This was another attraction we visited on our earlier trip to New York. It's a fun photo opportunity from both ends of the bull. Another thing to do is visit Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty. We actually did this tour from New Jersey, but you also need to take a ferry to get to these locations from New York, which is all part of the fun. Ellis Island is home to the National Museum of Immigration, which is an interesting and informative look back at what it was like for immigrants arriving to the island in years past. Then we boarded another ferry to get to Liberty Island to check out the statue up close. On Liberty Island, there is a museum, and you can purchase tickets that take you up to the pedestal or the crown of the statue. We made it to the Statue of Liberty, and the sun came out, the rain is gone. We are so happy that we get to walk around without it pouring on us. Made for an extra special visit here because it has been pouring for the last 2 days basically. Anyways, we're going to tour around the island. You can see the statue behind us, and we're going to make it up to the pedestal next. We just opted for the pedestal, and it was an awesome experience. I would highly recommend it. And lastly, dine around the city. While you're in New York, there is no shortage of food options from fine dining to quick service and everything in between. We visited the Landmark Tavern near our hotel for some Irish pub food and also checked out the Gotham West Market, where Alan got tacos and I got a slice of pie. Plus, we enjoyed our pizza, bagels, and eating at a brewery. Well, I hope this video can be helpful for you if you're planning a trip to New York City in the future. And as always, if you like this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.